Sipit's journey, from abandonment to complete happiness. In the cold and desolate silence of a morning, he was found. Abandoned near the train tracks, a 6-week-old puppy, fragile and vulnerable, was struggling to survive. Sipit, as we later called him, was motionless, shivering from the cold, exhausted, and without the strength to even cry for help. We received the call that would change his life. An attentive passerby had noticed this little creature and, with a heavy heart, asked for help. Our volunteer, moved by compassion, did not hesitate. He found him in a heartbreaking state. Thin skin, visible bones, and eyes that reflected a mixture of fear and hope. Without wasting time, he picked him up in his arms and took him straight to the veterinary hospital. The first fight, stabilize and survive. Upon arrival at the hospital, Sipit was immediately placed in intensive care. He was dehydrated, malnourished, and showing clear signs of hypothermia. His little life hung by a thread. The veterinary team started intravenous therapy to rehydrate and stabilize him. He was unable to feed himself, so they had to hand-feed him. Detailed examinations, including abdominal ultrasound and laboratory tests, were performed to assess his general condition. The diagnosis was clear. He would need a lot of attention, patience, and love to survive. Day 2, a small miracle. 2 days after the rescue, something extraordinary happened. Sipit, who until then had been dependent on force feeding, began to eat on his own. It was an emotional moment for all of us. Although he was still on intravenous therapy and required constant care, his recovery was beginning to show promising signs. Every small step forward was celebrated as a great victory. Day 6, a new chapter. 6 days after his rescue, Sipit was already stronger and more active. His once dull eyes now glowed with a spark of curiosity and life. He was ready to leave the hospital and go to a foster home, where he would receive love and security while his recovery continued. Day 30, a puppy transformed. 1 month after his rescue, Sipit was the epitome of transformation. At over 2 months old and weighing 1.7 kilograms, he was healthy, playful, and full of energy. His once dull and lifeless coat now glowed with health. He ran, played, and won over everyone around him with his captivating personality. Sipit was finally ready to find his forever home, a home where he would be loved and protected for the rest of his life. Day 35, the happy ending he deserved. And then, the long-awaited day arrived. Sipit was adopted by a loving family who welcomed him with open arms. Now, he lives in a home where he is treated like a member of the family, surrounded by love and attention. He plays in the garden, sleeps in a warm bed, and receives all the love he has always deserved. Sipit's story, a symbol of hope and love. Sipit's journey is a powerful testament to the impact that compassion can have on the life of such a vulnerable being. From being abandoned on the side of the tracks to a full and happy life, his story is a reminder that every life matters and that, with dedication, it is possible to transform despair into joy. Sipit now lives his days with a heart full of love and the certainty that he will never be alone again. He is a symbol of resilience and an example of how care and kindness can change the destiny of a life.